I want to take a few minutes to share a little bit about equity at Baker Web Academy. This is just meant to be a quick introduction to sort of the flavor of some of the things that we've been thinking about and things that we've been working on around equity. It's certainly not an all-inclusive, all-encompassing overview of it. So here's one explanation of equity in education. I think a lot of people have already seen this graphic here, that the idea that if we give everyone the exact same things, that isn't serving each of them. It's not meeting their needs. So equity in education is the idea that all students should have the resources and opportunities they need to reach their full potential, regardless of their background. So we think about that a lot here at BWA. The background of the student shouldn't determine whether they're successful or not in our school. So we're doing whatever we can to get those equally high outcomes, and we're trying to remove the predictability of success or failure that can be correlated with social or cultural factors. So here are some factors that we often see in our environment that can contribute to success or lack of success that we're really trying to pay attention to. First, is there an adult, or are there adults at home to support students with their studies? What is the socioeconomic level of the family, and how does that affect their ability to access things? What is the language, or what are the languages spoken in the home? What is the cultural background of the student and and family? And there's a whole lot more. We've taken steps to mitigate these factors, and we're always looking for additional areas where we can improve. We're certainly in that improvement game. So here are some things that we've done to address the access to material things at our school currently. So course supplies, we strive to provide students with all they need to be successful with our classes, including a Chromebook, internet if they need help with the internet. If they want paper pencil curriculum for our K-8 students, we'll provide that for them. We don't ever expect a student to have a printer. When there are hands-on projects assigned in a class, teachers are expected to offer a digital option as well. So people don't need to provide those supplies. We do take a look as the advisory teacher. We want to pay attention to school supplies. So if a student doesn't have notebooks, pens, pencils, etc., teachers are absolutely empowered to purchase those needed basic supplies as needed, and they can get reimbursed for that. You can also let your admin know of these needs so that supplies can be ordered and mailed to students. So we do try to offer absolutely everything, but we found that lots of families do provide their own school supplies like notebooks, pens, paper, etc. As far as books, we know that access to books is important, particularly for those younger students. So all students have free access to our digital library that's called Sora. They can access that through ClassLink. Elementary students also have access to Epic, which houses digital books, some audio books, and even some videos. And then supplies for events. We have some virtual events that are very popular. And one example is Cooking with Carrie. If you have a student that wants to participate in that, anyone can participate, whether they're cooking or not, but you are empowered to purchase supplies like ingredients and stuff for virtual events that we offer if they want to participate and don't have those supplies. So you're absolutely empowered to do those things. As far as access to events, we offer a huge range of field trips and different activity days for our students and their families. Nearly all of these events are free for students and an adult who brings them. We can provide a gas card to help a family get to the event if transportation is a problem. We obviously know there's a whole much more that goes to it. There's lots of students that don't have an adult that could drive them to an activity. We haven't really solved that yet, but we're doing the best we can at this point. We do also try to offer a robust variety of virtual events that don't require transportation. Back to if we do have some events that do have a nominal charge, if the student qualifies for free and reduced lunch, we can often get that fee waived as well. But that might be like if you're going, well, last year we even had ski trips that were free for people. So anyway, just keep that in mind when working with your students. Information about all of our events, our announcements, they go out to families via Parent Square, and Parent Square translates the information to the language of choice for each family. So hopefully, language stuff isn't getting in the way of their access to events. And then, because not all families read those weekly announcements, staff can discuss field trips and events during visits so students understand what is available to them. If we want to think about access to academic support, we put a ton of effort into this. The first one is an exciting one. More visit time, more advisory visit time with the students. So coming out of COVID, prior to COVID, every student had a 1 hour visit every other week. And it was in person. Coming out of COVID, we gave families the choice of having in-person visits or virtual visits. And we also gave families the choice of having short and sweet visits if they're on track versus 1 hour visits. So this has freed up teacher time so that they can spend more time with students who need more support. So some students will have short visits every other week, while others might do better with more frequent visits. So we do have the time to offer that for our students that have less support at home academically. Students have more time with grading teachers. So our grading teachers have dedicated time each week to work with struggling students in their classes. But do keep in mind, advisory teachers may need to help foster that connection to get them working together. But our grading teachers absolutely have time to work with our students. We've really put a lot of effort into scaffolding assignments. So instead of giving large and daunting assignments that require lots of support, our teachers have scaffolded most assignments, and they provided video instructions and shared exemplars so that students hopefully can work through them more independently than in the past. We have a tutoring option called Tutor Me. It's available 24/7. All the time, and that is on. So tutors can support students via video, or it can be a chat thing in all subjects. Again, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that's pretty amazing. Um, again, students often need their hand held to access Tutor Me the first time or two because it's a little bit scary, maybe, and then they find that it's not scary at all. School AI, we're excited about that. We've embraced many uses of AI in the last year, and school AI is a new thing that offers AI help in most classes. And many students appear to be more comfortable reaching out to an AI bot for help than a real person for help. So we're excited to see where this goes this year, but almost all classes should have some AI tutoring support in them. Student centers. So students can come to student centers for support and a quiet place to work in many regions. Not all regions have student centers, and a student living in a region doesn't mean they're particularly close to a student center. So this works for some and not for others. We can support families with transportation help by getting students bus passes, and we can also occasionally support transportation via gas cards to get to those student centers that's a quiet and supported place to work. Um, and then many advisory teachers have study halls. Many counselors offer study halls for struggling students, et cetera, where they can get more support. To try to keep that in mind, that not all students have the same amount of support at home. Another thing that we're doing with equity is we're sure to honor student name and pronouns. So through ClassLink, students have access to a preferred name form where they can communicate their preferred name and their pronouns to be used in Canvas, email, and other programs. And our staff are expected to honor student requests regarding name and pronouns. We also have taken a deep look at equity and grading. And so when we look at late work, generally at BWA, there's no penalties for late work. Generally, students are allowed to resubmit work for higher grades if they're not satisfied with their original grade. And tests, generally, most tests are open note tests. Okay. With the curriculum, our staff are asked to stay aware of what's presented in the curriculum that they grade, the classes that they teach, and to address any equity concerns that they or their students and families find. So stakeholders are asked to submit an equity concern form found in ClassLink regarding any concerns they find in curriculum or in any other aspects of BWA. And of course, we strive to think about all we do through an equity lens as much as possible, so we have less need for an equity concern form. So we try to avoid needing it. And then the last big thing that I wanted to talk about is just being aware of assumptions that we make. So here are some examples. Not everyone has a parent, or not everyone lives with a parent. Not everyone has two parents. A two-parent family doesn't mean that there's a male parent and a female parent. Not everyone has a home. Many people don't have a printer. Everyone doesn't speak English as their first language. Not everyone has an adult at home that can help them with their studies. Everyone doesn't celebrate the same holidays or traditions, so we try to avoid referring to Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc. Not everyone feels their gender identity aligns with the assumed gender of their name or of their gender assigned at birth. We want to be careful in general around gender stereotypes. We want to be careful in general of stereotypes around race, around culture, etc., much, much more. And last is we really do aim to support each other as much as possible along this journey. So we'll have various equity trainings and discussions throughout the year, and we're super glad to have you with us on this journey.